Good afternoon, hello, my name is Daniel, this is the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. It might seem a bit extreme having like a cinema setup for a vlog video, but we've got this set up for a different video, so I thought I'd make a video that I've been meaning to make for the last couple of months. So there's going to be a lot to unpack in this, but the general premise is I wanted to give you a real update in what's been going off behind the scenes relating to this channel and my fitness over the last few months, and then what's going to be happening very soon. I feel like I've teased it and mentioned it so often, but then never actually followed through and told you, because behind the scenes so much keeps changing. But I'm drawing a line now, I know what's happening, so I'm not going to tell you all about it. So I started this YouTube channel in 2018. It took me ages to get anybody to watch them, and I'm still so grateful when people do. And since then, I've been on like a YouTube journey, which has gone like that. I've also been on a triathlon and fitness journey that's gone like that, and equally a life journey, which has also gone like that. And we all know what it's like, right? Sometimes you feel great, you want to train loads, you want to do loads. Sometimes you're not able to, and I've shared my journey in all of those on this channel, and I love doing that and will continue to do that. In the last couple of years, YouTube, thanks to you guys and girls watching these videos, it's transformed what I'm able to do. When I go to events, I have Chris, who's behind the camera now, comes to triathlons with me. We've had other shoot days, I've done adventures, we've been on trips. It is honestly absolutely mind-blowing, the fact that some amateur, average triathlete and cyclist, etc. can do things like that. I'm honestly so grateful, and without you watching these videos, that wouldn't happen, and I know that, and I tell myself that all the time. So for the past 2 or 3 years, I've really had a focus on triathlon event videos. I want to make them as good as I can. I got Chris Wilson Visuals to help me out with recording and now editing for these event videos. I've worked with event organizers in the past, and it really has taken this up a notch. I'd like to think, and I hope, that I put out the best amateur triathlon race day content on YouTube. I don't know that for a fact, and there are constantly other great creators popping up, but it's a challenge I set myself. I like to try and push myself to make it as good as I can be. So whenever I try and do things, I'm always thinking about how can I make this the best that it can be. Now, 2023 was a massive step forward for the channel. I worked with outlaw triathlons a lot more formally. I had some engagement with like Ironman and Challenge and stuff, and didn't really do much too formally, but the connections were there, and I was really looking forward to building upon that for the 2024 season. And that's exactly what I did. I had plans towards the end of last year to engage with these event organizers, go to some of the biggest and coolest events in the world. I'd been to Challenge Roth the year before, and I really wanted to take this to the next level and do what I can. Now, unfortunately, I had the worst winter of training I've ever had. I was injured, I was ill, I had one thing after another, and that then left me at the beginning of this year still having lots of those things in progress, but not feeling physically like I'm able to do it. Not even just I'm not fit enough, like I had long periods of not being able to run or swim or ride a bike and various things. So it's left me in a bit of a limbo. I've, for the last few months, had various things planned in that haven't happened. Because of that, I've had, so I'm going to tell you all about them. So at the beginning of this year, I had planned to do Ironman Canada. This is at the end of August, and with special thanks to the Ironman UK team, the Ironman North American team, I'd agreed essentially, some support from Ironman to be able to go and do this event, to take Chris the camera guy along with me, to go with Liz and have a fabulous holiday and do an amazing event, and really try, and the plan was to qualify for the Nice World Championships in 2025. Now, a while ago, my entry was put in thanks to Ironman, but I hadn't booked flights and accommodation, and that's quite expensive. And Ironman were kindly helping me out with some accommodation, but it was still going to be a significant outlay. And I was holding off until the point that I thought, I'm going to be fit enough to get around this, because just because I make videos about these things that I do doesn't make it any easier to do them. You've still got to get around the triathlons, and it's quite a difficult one in Penticton. And I just held off, and I had to make the call a few weeks ago. Do I realistically think I'm going to be fit enough to get round an Ironman? And my conclusion was maybe. I couldn't be certain. I was still injured at the time. Flights and accommodation had got a whole lot more expensive, and I didn't want to make, though I couldn't make the commitment at that time to commit that much money from, you know, myself and Liz to, because we have to make sacrifices, sacrifice other things in order for me to fly halfway across the world to do an event that I'm not quite sure I'm going to be able to do. I also went through a redundancy process at work and had to secure another job. So at that point, I unfortunately had to say, you know, I'm really sorry, no, I can't do this thing anymore. And that really pained me, but I do know this is a first world problem. There are much worse things going off in the world, but I built myself up to it. I really wanted to do it, but I'd reset and focus on other things. And I've been very fortunate as well to receive, you know, a couple of other offers from Challenge and the PTO and other things. And for one reason or another, it just hasn't happened. The main reason being my, you know, health and fitness. But now I am a few weeks in to being able to consistently train. I feel like I'm making some progress. I'm by no means anywhere near as fit as I have been or I want to be, but I'm not so fussed about that anymore. I now value, you know, being healthy and being able to do activity above anything else. So I want to tell you about what's happening, because I'm going to try and make as big a deal of it as I can, because I really want to perform well. I want to tell the story really well. I want to take you along for the ride, and I hope you enjoy the content as hopefully you have enjoyed my previous race day videos. So alongside doing outlaw events this year, I wanted an event that I could focus on, that was still a big challenge, but one that I felt could be attainable with a couple of months of consistent training. I wanted one that I could commit to financially, that wasn't a, you know, it's not a £10,000 decision, it's maybe a couple of £1,000 decision. I know that's still a lot of money, but it's easier for me to commit to that. And if I was to, as is what's happening now, go into an event in Wales for a weekend, if I can't do the event in Wales, I can still go on holiday to Wales for a weekend, and I don't feel like I've completely wasted lots of money and lots of time and stress and so on. So on the, and I am going to have to check the date because I've had that much going through my mind that I'm not entirely sure what's happening nowadays. On Saturday the 7th of September, I have entered the Brutal Full Triathlon. If you've been a long time follower of this channel, you might know that lots of my friends have done these events, and I've always admired them for it. I've heard what they've said about brutal events. I've never been that motivated to do super tough events myself, because I quite liked racing for times, going sub 10 in Roth last year, sub 4.5 hours for a middle distance triathlon. That really did, you know, tickle my fancy. But now I thought that's not going to happen, so I want to focus on something else. I've got a lot of experience around me to draw upon for this event. It looks like a fabulous event, super challenging terrain, but it's the last year that Brutal are going to run this event, and that just really hit home to me, is if you don't take opportunities when they're in front of you, like you might not get the chance to do it again. And again, I know it's first world, but I didn't want to let the opportunity to go and do Brutal pass me by and then it never happen again. Now, Brutal events are a bit different to your normal event organizer. They're not an outlaw, they're not a challenge, they're not an Ironman. They don't particularly care for social media. So like, I'm going and doing this off my own back, and this is an investment in me and the channel, but more than anything, I want to do the event. It's not for YouTube, it's not for getting some reels for Instagram or whatever else. I want to go and do the race. I want to prove to myself that I can get in good enough shape to do it. I want to challenge myself. I want to like reignite those fires of me pushing myself hard and working towards a specific challenge. And already I'm finding myself getting really excited about it and looking into the, how can I make this as, you know, as easy as possible for myself. So if you've done the event before, please do let me know your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. For those that don't know, it is a 2.4 mile lake swim in Llanberis. It's then about a 114 mile bike ride, which goes over Penny Pass 4 times, between 8,000 and 9,000 feet of climbing. And then the run course is an off-road run. It's about 15 miles, 3 laps around a lake, and then it goes up and down Mount Snowdon. So I'm well out of my depth. I'm in no way prepared for things like that. I do have now, at time of recording, 6 weeks to try and prepare myself as best as I can. I don't have any performance expectations other than I want to do everything I can to get to the finish. Anything more than that is a bonus. I'm already relishing the idea of building a bike specifically for the terrain, not using a time trial bike, using a road bike, but still making it fast. What shoes do I wear for the run? Is the swim going to be very cold? Do I need some cold weather stuff? All that sort of stuff is really exciting me, and it's taking me away from, oh, what time do I want to do in this split for this thing? So that's what's been going off. I can't explain enough how grateful I am for you guys and girls like persevering with me. This year's been a bit of a challenge. If I'm honest, as the channel's grown, I've felt the pressure more. Oh my God, I've got, you know, more people watch these videos now. Got a couple of extremely supportive partners in Hoob and NRG Chains, and although I'm not obviously not like a professional athlete expected to do things, I do feel like I want to do things. You want to do cool things for people that watch these videos, the brands involved and so on. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going in a few weeks to do a recce of the course. If you are interested in coming along for the event weekend or meeting up when I'm doing the recce, please do feel free to message me if you're based in North Wales. I know that I'm going to need some support to get through this event. I've already very kindly got Liz and a couple of my friends who you know might know from these videos, but I am so excited to be able to publicly say I'm focusing on this thing. This is the thing I'm working towards now, and you can hold me accountable to it, because I'm going to be doing everything I can in the next 6 weeks to get in good enough shape to do it, to get the experience I need to do it, and give it my best shot is the plan. So there we go. That's what's been happening. That's what's going to happen in the future. Thanks very much. Hit like and subscribe, because this is going to be a wild journey.